I think when I started out in model making, one of the best tips I found on YouTube was using something like Fun Tack. You know, one of those kind of sticky, tacky things that you use to pin up posters on the wall without having to poke holes in things. Winds up being incredibly useful not only for building barriers whenever you're attempting to paint. Kind of using it as a masking putty, but it also is incredibly useful just for holding on to little bitty parts, which is probably what I use it for the most. You just put a little bit of Loctite on the end of a stick, and now you have an extra finger to actually help you hold on to those tiny parts that you're not going to be able to grasp perhaps with a pair of tweezers. Now, the most important reason to do all of this is so that you avoid dropping it. Because if there's something that any model maker knows, the Sprue Monster's real. Now, for those of you who are unaware, who've never heard of the Sprue Monster, it has a couple of different names, I suppose. I heard one YouTuber refer to it as the Carpet Monster. But essentially what it is, it's kind of a legendary, whimsical creature that features prominently in the folklore of model making. They say that it inhabits sort of domestic spaces, particularly around the vicinity of your workspace where plastic model kits are being assembled and where parts are likely to fall to the floor. So its primary characteristic, the things that seems to drive it, is actually snatching those small little parts that have inadvertently fallen from your desk onto the floor. On the off chance that you've never actually seen yours, rumor has it they come in a variety of different colors, usually associated with kind of sprue colors, so white, gray, and the like. The one that lives under my desk, well, here's a picture of it, appears to be primarily white. Now, to actually catch that photo, you have to be very careful, you have to be very quiet, because they camouflage really well, especially kind of blending into any dark area on your floor under your desk. What I can tell you about them almost for certain, and this is surely if you're a model maker you've experienced as well, is they are incredibly nimble and dexterous. They navigate the landscapes of your carpet with grace and precision. And, using their small appendages, they're able to collect those wayward plastic parts, usually without any notice. But you'll recognize that they're gone because after you see that part fall to the floor, you immediately, scramble from your chair, go to the floor, grab your phone, start looking around for it, and it's gone. Across the various YouTube communities of model makers, the Sprue Monster is a sometimes cherished, sometimes hated figure. It symbolizes that kind of inexplicable disappearance of small parts that occurs during the construction process. So I recommend using the sort of Fun Tack or something similar just to hold on to parts a little bit easier. I also recommend making sure that you construct your elements kind of close to their cutting mat. Because as soon as it falls off the edge of your desk, well, now it's in Sprue Monster territory. Now, contrary to its reputation as a thief, I think if we really thinking about kind of what the Sprue Monster is, maybe it's a little bit more nuanced than that. Some versions of the Sprue Monster, some stories of the monster posit that the creature may possess a kind of latent skill for crafting and assembling. Sometimes whenever you finally retrieve the part, you might notice that the parts have been assembled into new forms. It's almost as if the Sprue Monster is, well, inventive, engages in kind of a kit bashing of its own. So I encourage you, keep an eye out for them. Use the Fun Tack, try to minimize their interference in your model making, but do keep an eye out for your own Sprue Monster. While its existence some people will say is nothing more than folklore, I think the persistence, the experience that almost all of us have in the model making community serves as a testament to, well, not only its reality, but also its creativity.